Hi there, you lovely lot, and welcome to the latest episode of Pat's Procrastination, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. Here we are, folks. It is episode 90, and happy Chinese New Year to anyone who celebrates. So, it's now officially the off-season. So, now it's off-season topics. And for someone that thought there would be barely any shows in the off-season, I was very much corrected because of the amount that there is still to talk about. So, I'm Claire Clazzy Clare. He's Chudders. And here we are. Chudders, how are things with you?
I'm grand, but I'm also going to wish a happy Pancake Day to anyone that celebrates that as well.
Of course. Sure.
I don't know. Is it Pancake Day in the States? Certainly isn't the UK.
It's technically a religious holiday of Shrove Tuesday because it comes before Wednesday. So
I assume it must
I'm
be.
assuming our calendars are the same. But yeah, I was wondering that myself this morning and forgot to Google it. So there you go.
Well, there we go. If you're celebrating Happy Pancakes Day and Chinese New Year, surely there must be some like super mega crossover there where they've both aligned. That means the Year of the Horse is going to be particularly pancakey or something. I don't know. So, have you recovered your sleep yet from the Super Bowl, Claire?
I have recovered my sleep from the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I'm still tired, but that's got nothing to do with the Super Bowl. So there you go. I'm just sleep deprived.
And how now we are 10 days removed nearly. How do you feel about the game, about the season? Positive, negative, gutted?
Completely positive. Moved up, totally moved on. Totally moved on. It's fine. Whatever. The season was great. So happy we have Rayball. Happy that we have Drake May. I know there's things to do in the off season, but technically we have plenty of time now. Do we? I don't know. I'm so tired. I don't even know. But yeah, no, I'm sort of really, although it was the Super Bowl and they lost the Super Bowl, I was over it quite quickly. I'll be honest. Very much in my rearview mirror now, shall we say?
Fair enough. I'm fairly similar. I was very, very pleased with the season. Generally pleased with Drake's progression. Certainly for the first 3/4 of the season. Disappointed we didn't play better in the Super Bowl. You could have even still lost it because the Seahawks were the better team going into the Super Bowl and obviously on the day.
Sure.
But there was so much good that we'd seen during the season that we didn't see in the Super Bowl. That's where it felt quite disappointing, I think, really, that we didn't show out the way we had done previously. And we just got to hope that it was a bad day and a bad postseason, maybe, because maybe it was more than one game, and not sort of remnants of a bad offense, should we say.
I think there's a lot of pressure on a lot of rookies, a lot of guys that were new coming back off injury. It was just a lot. And whilst I appreciate that's their job and stuff like that, they are still human. So yeah, maybe the postseason was just that little bit extra, and the Super Bowl was that just one couple of drops a bit too much for the team as it was, and it just needed a bit more time, sort of thing. So yeah, I think that's probably why I still feel positive, because like you said, it wasn't their best game. So we know that there's so much more. So hopefully there's so much more to look forward to.
Fair enough. One thing because we were so concentrating on the Super Bowl, both before and after, that we didn't touch on, but to just give our own 2 cents, should we have any, Kraft and Belichick, their pretty obvious snub for the Hall of Fame. I think it's fair to say that was calculated and deliberate. And also Vinatieri getting in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which I appreciate was a player possibly before your fandom. But it's still a Pat that's... Sorry?
I know who he is. Might have been a bit before my time, but I still know.
And Vrabel winning Coach of the Year. Josh winning Assistant Coach of the Year. Obviously, Drake finishing second, and the other Pats players not quite making it as well. They're on shortlists. What were your thoughts of the awards?
I don't think I was really
or not
surprised
awards
by much. The one that I think surprised me the most probably was Kraft not getting in. But after the whole Belichick not getting in saga and the ridiculous, oh, I forgot who I voted for, I just need to get it confirmed, and all that sort of strange goings on. I think by the time that Kraft was announced that he didn't get in, it was wouldn't not surprise now. If it had been like a just off the bat sort of situation, there'd been no, in a vacuum, there'd have been no Belichick. Say he hadn't been eligible or something, then that would have been more of a surprise. But it was just I know we don't swear on this show, so it was a cluster, and then you can add whatever name, whatever word you want after that. But yeah, I think it was a bit of a cluster bleep from the Hall of Fame. I think after seeing that, I sort of tapped out of it. So one of the reasons why it wasn't a major discussion, because we were talking about the Super Bowl, was a kind of, it was like so yeah, just leave it along sort of thing, whatever.
Do you think it'll affect, I mean, next year he becomes eligible, Gronk, and then 1 year after, 2 years after, when Brady's eligible, do you think it's going to affect their entrances in the same way?
Well, you'd look at what happened in regards to Belichick and all the shenanigans, if you like, and you'd say, oh, well, I'm not actually that confident now, because are they screwing over Patriots, that sort of thing? Are they just really not paying attention? The other thing is, will they look at Brady and Gronk as Bucks more than Pats, because that's where they technically retired, although I think they're both officially retired now as Patriots. Gronk did his one day, didn't he, sometime?
He did.
So,
but Brady didn't.
No? But he's gone into the oh, my bad.
He's in the Hall of he's in the Patriots Hall of Fame. He has a statue. Oh, okay. He chose not to sign a one-day contract, saying he didn't need to. I mean, we can now get on to his what do you want to call it? Disrespect to the Patriots? Choosing not to follow them, but following other teams in the Super Bowl week, saying he doesn't have a dog in the fight. His statement to Kraft that was along the lines of, I've got your back, go and win one so you're as good as me with 7 rings, was a bit like...
I think he said, so we're matching. I don't think he said, so you're as good as me. I think he said... so that
I think that's what he was implying.
Okay. I don't wish to put words in anyone's mouth, personally.
I think he's...
It was lame, and there was... sorry, you wanted my opinion.
No, I agree.
It was, yeah, it was lame, and it was funny because a lot of previous ex-Patriots, alumni, whatever you prefer to call them, called him out on it, which was quite amusing. And that's when he did his double back and saying to Kraft, go and win, and, another one, so we're matching or whatever. It's all just, I don't know, annoying as a Patriots fan to have the sort of the drama and the ridiculousness of, you can't even say that you're supporting the Patriots. And some Pats fans don't care because he's the owner of the Raiders, so why would he say that and things like this? And there's other Patriots on the other side, other Patriots fans, sorry, on the other side saying, well, we did put a statue above him, he can't even say that he supports us in the Super Bowl. So nobody's right or wrong, because it's just opinions, isn't it? Everybody's got their own. I was going to say something not too clean there. I'm glad I didn't. Too tired this morning. So yeah, I was one of the fans that was like, really? Even if you do have ownership in another team, even if you are a Fox Sports analyst or whatever he is now, apologies if I've got his station incorrect, you can't say that you support the Patriots in their first Super Bowl back after you. Really? You can't be publicly... I don't know. One thing that I was thinking when you were talking about the Hall of Fame thing, the link back is, did he sort of distance himself because he didn't want to end up not making it into the Hall of Fame because he rooted for the Patriots in the Super Bowl the same year that they didn't let Belichick in the Hall of Fame, and all sorts of controversial threads and stuff like this and conspiracy theories. But ultimately, long story short, Apologies. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with it. I was on the come on, that's naff side of the Brady not supporting, and I liked the other Pats players calling him out, Edelman and stuff like that. I reckon maybe they should just take down Brady's statue and put one up of Jules instead.
That's not bad. Not bad. It's
there's some controversy for you.
No, I agree with you mostly. He should have a dog in the fight. There is not one person that if he turned around and said, "Yeah, I want the Pats to win," would have batted 2 eyelids. No one at his station would have thought anything bad of him. No one in the NFL or in a Hall of Fame committee or whatever would have thought anything like, questioned it. No one at the Bucks would have. No one at the Raiders would have.
No.
That's what they would have almost expected. Now, if it had been Patriots Buccaneers, you'd like to think he'd still be rooting Patriots, but okay. Or if it had been an AFC Championship game and Raiders versus Pats, and okay, well, he's not going to say, like, if there was a clear no dog in the fight or 2 dogs in the fight, whatever you want to put it, like, fair enough. It should be clear. It's a deliberate disrespect, to be honest. Now he can go on.
Sorry, no, carry on. I don't want to.
No, go on. What's your point?
There was 2 things. One thing is, another thing that I didn't mention was people were saying, or it was being said, that because he wanted the Hawks, his name's going to elude me now.
OC.
They didn't want. He didn't want to be seen, or apparently he wouldn't have wanted to be seen as going against him, and it's like ridiculous. I found that really ridiculous.
No one would have cared.
Yeah, he's a grown man. You really think that a dude going for a job at an organization would be upset, offended, or not take the job because you rooted for the team that you were with for 20 years or took the 2 dynasties and blah blah blah. The other thing was, other players in the television industry, producers or commentators, whatever you want to call them, I think you will find that most of them are reasonably vocal about who they support with an X team. Now, most of them, no, they don't ram it down your throat. I appreciate that because they have an element of professionalism. But you'll find loads of X players who have gone to multiple teams will still be, I don't want to use the word bias because that's not true. I want a better word than that. Are supportive, apologies, early in the morning, of the team that they were with for the longest period of time, or the ones that are closest to their heart, or they finished with, or they was most successful in, or, they made the most brotherhood with. There's loads of them that are on TV now, on Fox, etc., or other broadcasters are available, and aren't shy about saying good things about their ex teams. Now, and I'd imagine if they're in the Super Bowl, they would support them.
The only thing I'll say is that I don't think he didn't want to be a liar. And had he told the truth, it would have done more harm than good. Because I don't think he was rooting for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think he wanted the Seahawks to win, but he didn't want to say that. And so he came out with no dog in the fight. I think he's bitter.
Do you think he wanted, is it Kubiak who's took?
It's not so much that. I think he is bitter. He didn't get ownership in the Patriots. I have
a question. How do we know that he tried? I've not seen anything about this. People have said that. Oh, he's bitter. I never saw anything that he tried to get ownership. Have I genuinely missed something, or are you speculating a little?
Speculating a little with.
Okay. No, that's fair. It was just okay. So each to their own. I was genuinely concerned I'd missed something.
The unsaid truth is that top players, not just Brady, don't just get paid their salary, they get kickbacks in other ways.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think he was expecting and hoping to be getting some ownership in the team when he retired, which he did not get.
That's fair. Okay.
And minor, I'm not major, investment in the team, but
yeah,
some minor stakes which he didn't get. He wanted to be in it, so he went and did it somewhere else that he could get a stake in the team, which is how he ended up at the Raiders. I think he also does not want to see the Patriots with a young quarterback and a young QB go and start to dominate the league again. He likes how revered he is, how special those 20 years were, how that was the dynasty, that was the era, how dominant they were. Like, he likes being on that pedestal, and he does not want someone else to threaten that. So he doesn't want the Pats to go win Super Bowl when Drake May's only 23 with the chance that he could go. He's got another 20 years ahead of him. Gosh, how many could he win? He doesn't want that discourse.
It's not like it takes away from him, though.
I agree. But he's got an ego, and I think that's the reason he said what he said. It wasn't because he wanted to be impartial. It's because he wanted the Seahawks to win.
It didn't really come across as impartial, did it? So he failed anyway, really, but okay.
No, but there is the, as we opened with, there is the view of, why couldn't he just admit? It's not why couldn't he admit he's a Pats fan, it's why couldn't he admit he was a Seahawks fan. And I think that's the reason. It's not the outcome, it's the reason. Anyway, I don't think it'll affect him getting into the Hall of Fame. It could do. I don't think it will. I certainly don't think it should affect Gronk, because I think he's been separate enough to the sort of controversies and whatever that have that people may want to tarnish the Pats with.
And he was happy to say that he wanted the Pats to win the Super Bowl. So
he was happy to say that. I think that those that get in, they're all get in. Possibly Belichick and Kraft will get in next year when Gronk does, and it'll be a big Pats fest and wonderful. Won't we all be happy? I think it's.
I don't know.
I'm really intrigued to see how it's taken, by Belichick. I mean, you've probably seen the clip of him on Pat McAfee where he sort of laughed it off. He was invited onto a Hall of Fame to provide an answer in some little quiz they were doing for the Hall of Fame class this year.
I don't think.
And Pat made some comments, and Belichick just laughed it off. He didn't rise to anything, and he just giggled away. I think he'll be fine. Knowing the guy he is, I think he'll make some sort of nod to it, like "Sorry, I'm late," or like, I don't think he's just going to let it completely pass.
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
I think Kraft will be more magnanimous and he'll just accept it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to put my tin foil hat on for a second, and only a couple of years ago were the rules changed, the voting for coaches and contributors.
Oh yeah, putting them together and taking them apart and that kind of thing. Yeah.
All this
drama
with how it's gone this year, it wouldn't surprise me if they change the way that it's done going forward, so that doesn't happen again.
I think they've even come out, or some people have even said that it will be changed. I think I'm not sure who officially has said yet, but there's definitely been mentionings.
And that leaves just a window that the two people it affected, it did its job. We don't need to worry again. And the timing of this was not an accident. I might be wrong. I'd like to think I'm wrong. I just think it's not a coincidence that they changed the rules. It affected two people who should be in the Hall of Fame already. And then, we'll change the rules to a way that works better for everyone else. And it won't happen again. Well, it's too late. It's happened to the two people it should never have happened to.
I think my last 2 cents on the matter, because we really should talk about some more patrioty stuff. I think it has coloured my opinion, clouded my opinion, turn a phrase, of the Hall of Fame. It has given it an element of a bit of a farce, in so much that, like you said, they changed the rules and this happened, and it's like, of all the people to get in, Kraft made such an impact on the league and stuff like that, and the way that he went around business. And Belichick, look what he did. Love him or hate him, look what he did. Look what he achieved.
And it's
whether you say it's with, it's due to Brady or not due to Brady, I don't care. He did it. He did it for a long time, and he did it. So for me, I think a lot of it is, when you said about you wanted to go over the Hall of Fame because we'd missed out on it because of Super Bowl, I was slightly indifferent, for the simple fact of, I feel like, it's a bit, they've changed my viewpoint of it, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever type thing. Now it's given me that opinion, if you like.
And they'll obviously, they will go in, and when historians are writing the story of the NFL, they are going to be two of the biggest characters in that book.
Yeah, of course.
However, before they went in, some people wanted to put two fingers up to them. Clearly, which part, I hate it for. They should just be in. They should be first ballot Hall of Famers. Like, Kraft should already be in years ago, in my opinion. But it shouldn't have been this farce.
No.
There is a part of me that quite likes the fact that the Patriots pissed off people so much in their 20 years of dominance that they had to be this petty.
Now I have to mark the video as explicit.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What you did.
Sorry. All the children listening in the cars.
I'll do a very BBC thing and like, we do apologise for any language that you have heard that may have been caused any distress. Anyway, let's do Patriots. There's some news that I want to cover.
Go for it.
News I want to cover. Well, firstly, quarterbacks coach Ashton Grant has decided to remain in New England rather than discuss the vacant OC job and anything else in Vegas. So that is a phenomenal piece of news. And if you've missed it, don't worry. But I believe it's a phenomenal piece of news because it brings some consistency to Drake May that he hasn't had in, I think, about 5 years. I think the last 5 years, he's 5 years. He's quarterbacks coach OC has changed over time, obviously college and then the NFL. So I think that some consistency is a good thing, because whilst he did, yes, we discussed he didn't have the best postseason, he has made a good leap, a good year two jump, good development, good solid skills. So I think having that consistency that he can build upon, that he can work to, is great. And obviously it's a second year with McDaniels as well, which would all be well. So I think that was it. I don't know if it flew under people's radars or not. Other people might have been celebrating it to the rooftops. I don't know. But yeah, one piece of news that was great. Another interesting piece of news is they've moved Terrell Williams kind of like upstairs in a more seniority position, which leaves the defensive coordinator position open. I personally would hope that it just goes to Zach Kerr. However, they can't just put him in. It has to be an interview process. Unfortunately, some more farce maybe, but I just really hope, fingers crossed, that they do what they need to do to tick the boxes, as silly as sometimes it may seem, and Kerr gets the job, because that would be awesome. Having Williams back in the building, brilliant. Cancer feet, awesome. Having Kerr put into a position that he clearly deserves after the work that he did the season we've just had. So yeah, that's something that's definitely going to be on my radar, hopefully. And I just, hope that they do what they have to do so they don't get in trouble for not doing it, and then he gets the job. Full stop.
No, I agree. With everything you've just said. It's good for Drake on offense, and I do think that's the right thing to be doing on defense. Zach Kerr did a good job. The defense was strongest probably element of the Patriots team going down the stretch. Sort of, if you like, rewarding him for that fact. I am expecting him to be the DC. But it's also nice to know that you'll have the expertise of Williams around the building, able to have that input, which we haven't obviously really seen because of the illness he's gone through and everything else. So I think it's I think that's the best outcome that we could be of hoping for.
Yeah, I agree. I know there was talk about Vrabel having a difficult decision to make, and obviously it depends on. I'd be interested to know if the sort of reassignment, if you like, of Terrell Williams was whose choice it was, if he had a choice in it. The way that Vrabel seems to work from appearances from outside, I think that he will have done. It feels like the kind of thing that Vrabel would say, right, we don't want to lose you. What do you want to do? Or would this make you happy? It feels like that would be said. Now, I'm basing that on nothing but just my opinion from what I've seen over the season and obviously how I feel about everything. So I appreciate that's not based on very much till, but I'd like to hope that that's how it went. So
I'd like to think as well that it will be Zach Gurr's defense and Williams will be a consultant, if you like, rather than it's sort of secretly going to be Williams' defense and we're just, keeping Zach Gurr happy. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he was said to have been still connected with the team,
yes,
Williams, because there were still elements of when he was obviously well enough, I'm assuming, that he was still said to have been in contact with the team parts of the season anyway. So I would imagine that what he's doing, again, based on nothing, what he's going to be doing has got a similar vein to it as to what has happened this season just gone.
That's it. Really. It's never completely one man anyway, because you're obviously expecting, if you like, Vrabel's obviously going to have quite a big impact on that defense and the way it's going to play, where it's going to shape, game manage, etc. So having the three of them, I think is going to be a very, very, very good brains trust and good way to shape that defense. You just hope that there's going to be some times when it's going to go wrong, when they're found out, when they get game plans wrong, when schemes don't work, when they're picked apart. When it gets to the blame, that's when you can really test the strength of this structure, though, because is Vrabel going to be siding with Williams and saying, well, if we'd done what you wanted, then maybe this would be better? Or is he going to be looking at Kerr and saying, you're the guy? Like, it's when it's working fine, it'll all be rosy. There will be times when it doesn't work, and then people will be pointing, is Kerr going to be thinking, well, I could be doing a better job if I didn't have this guy on my shoulder? And is Vrabel we're going to be thinking, maybe I put the wrong person as DC, maybe it should have been Willie. Like, hopefully it all goes well and we're never in a problem. But that's when it'll get tested, when you can have too many cooks in the kitchen. But I like the idea of this brains trust and the thinking that's going to go behind it all, and I hope we can continue to be successful in defense.
Now, we only have a couple of minutes left, so we need to tell everybody that we're now going to be back every other week. So you will only have Pat's Procrastination every 2 weeks. So you don't have to put up with us every week now for the off season. You only have to put up with us every 2 weeks. So we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk combine, because the combine will have been complete. So there'll be plenty to talk about because Claire likes the combine. So
no, definitely.
For that.
And I think we'll look to do shows focused more on combine draft, obviously on free agency. We'll try and break it down a little more as we go down for shows. One question I would have for you before you wrap it up, very loosely, not looking at any specific players in either of those windows, what do you think are the biggest needs that the Pats need to address this offseason, though, Claire, in whatever way they end up doing it?
I think a lot of it has got to do with the draft class because of the Super Bowl situation. I haven't delved into the draft situation as much as some people may have. So I'm very interested that I understand that defensive line and wide receiver has got a higher quality in this draft and not so much quarterbacks and running backs. Not that maybe those were positions of need anyway. So there's definitely plenty to talk about when it comes to that kind of thing. And like you said, free agency will touch upon as well. I understand that they're 11th in cap space with approximately 42 million as well. So there's definitely something to talk about there too, with regards to Gonzo as well. Needing is he having a contract extension restructure, that situation. I don't think I've got the full list of free agencies actually. So I think there's a few. It's plenty to look at. And I think that's why we're not taking the off season off. That's why you will find us on Pat's Procrastination every 2 weeks. And you'll also find you should keep your eyes on patspropaganda.com, for articles, because there will be some combine-y stuff. So please don't tap out completely. We shall be around every couple of weeks and there will be stuff on the blog. So yes, please don't tap out, folks. Should we address... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Should we address sandwich bets? No, we can do that next show. Actually. We'll do that next show.
Okay.
Because you have one more point. So what was your point?
Well, no, I was just going to answer it as well and say, well, I think the biggest needs. Yes. I think the biggest needs are O-line and edge. I think the interior defense, I'm not a defensive line. I'm relatively happy with, but edge, I think they need a lot more aggression there, a lot more trying to affect the pass.
End up keeping, doesn't it? And a lot of it is who they keep, but yeah, they still.
But even if they keep the same guys, I think they need more. I don't think it was good enough.
Train then.
I would be, but even if it's not him, they need to address it.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's not him or nothing for me. I'd love it if they got him, fair. But I think they need to address it. Chason was good, really good. Landry was obviously quite injured, but the Patriots' pass rush really wasn't as high as I'd hoped or expected, really. And so that's one area I think they still can improve on. I do think O-line is the biggest need. That could be reshuffling some people, which again, we'll probably do a show about this in the future, but could be shuffling people. Are you going to address the interior? Are you going to address tackles more, and even short-term versus long-term with people like Moses? And I should think exciting for you, I think there could be the opportunity to address tight end position as well.
I do hope so. I didn't want to be a complete TE homer and just mention that, but I understand there's about 27 tight ends invited to the combine this year. So interesting to see if they do go down that route. Because as you all know, my frustrations of how they've missed out on the last few years. But that is all that we do have time for this week, folks. So this is it for the first Pat's Procrastination off-season show. Episode 90, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. He is Chudders. I am Claire Clazzy Clare. Tune in next time, folks. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and go Pats.
LFG.